Hey, how's it going everyone? Today we're going to be doing an evening drawing session and we're going to be creating an illustration on a birch wood panel. I believe this is a 12 by 24 inch panel if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to be creating a unique illustration today. We're going to be creating a guitar. So we're going to draw the outline of a guitar with a little scene on the inside. And yeah, we're going to see how it goes. We're going to be using Micron pens and also acrylic paints to fulfill this this illustration. So I'm excited to get started on it, and yeah, so let's just jump right on it. All right, so I brought back the top view angle here. It's not the best top view setup in the world, but this is what I have to work with for now. But yeah, I think it's going to be the best way to show what I'll be drawing on the inside here. As you can see, I have already started the outline, which is a bit of a pain to get down, just because you want it to be nice and symmetrical. But yeah, without further ado, let's try to actually start on this. So the one thing that I do want to do is on the neck of the guitar, I want to kind of create like trees kind of coming off of it. So there'll be like trees coming out of it that I should probably just start drawing so you guys can kind of see what I mean. But yeah, like I kind of like the idea of having some of the trees pop off of the neck of the guitar. And so I'm just going to start off with this because I don't know, I think this is kind of I mean that's all that I really know or that I want from the piece right now. I'm still sort of, I don't have necessarily a full-on vision of what this is going to look like at the end. I'm just kind of going as I go, and then letting the artwork come out as it needs to be, since it isn't it's not a custom order or anything like that, so it doesn't have to be anything specific. It just has to be, you know, whatever I kind of want it to be. So it's kind of full freedom here. So I'm just going to work on the neck and yeah, get some trees drawn in here. Alright, so I'm not sure how well that top-down view really was. So I'm just going to continue with what I got. I don't really have the best setup for filming. I know that my lighting is extremely terrible, all that kind of stuff. But I'll be honest, you know, that kind of stuff has prevented me from wanting to do videos and make things. And to be honest with you, I just don't really care. I mean, I do care. I do want to create as the best quality, you know, video that I can. But I'm working with what I got. You know, and sometimes when you work with what you got, you have to just accept that it's not going to be perfect and it's not going to be the best thing produced in the world, and that's okay. And frankly, I don't know if that's what you guys are really looking for, whoever watches this. Maybe you are, and if that is the case, then well, sorry to burst your bubble, I guess, because it's just not gonna be, just ain't gonna be that. But anyways, aside from that little mini tangent, I guess you can call that, we're starting to create the outline of the illustration. I'm just going to fill these in right away too. The hard part with the guitar is keeping it symmetrical. I find that always to be very tricky. Our symmetrical objects, you know, you don't want to, you know, screw that up, because if it's too off, it might not look the greatest. I mean, that being said, the tuning knobs at the top of the guitar are completely just unrealistic. So I mean, to each their own, whatever you want. So far it's going alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and our non-binary friends, look at where we are heading. This is, yeah, I'm just really enjoying this whole piece, how it's coming together. I mean, we're just at the beginning, so it's just starting to finally look like something. Yeah, it's really hard. I don't even know how much of this is gonna be visible from like the pencil sketch. I don't know if any of that is even gonna really show up, especially in the darkness that we're working with. But my hope, my genuine hope is that this will be a nice, intimate looking, feeling type of a video. We'll see how it goes in the edit. But yeah, right now I am filling in the silhouettes of the trees. There's a lot of trees to fill in because of the amount of trees that are in the guitar now. But right now we're just starting with the island. And there's one more tree in the island, and then we can do the trees off to the side. So let's get this started here. So lovely. Like, I'm actually... I like how that island turned out. What do you think? I like it. That's an island. Now, it's off to the big pine tree. And one thing to note, my favorite tree in the world is a pine. I'm torn whether it's a white pine or a red pine. They're both equally very beautiful, and they are what is very commonly growing here in northern Ontario. But it is, yeah, like I just love the silhouettes of a pine, whether it's a white pine or a red pine. And then obviously, you know, spruce trees are cool. Fir trees, Douglas fir. I mean, that's such a. I mean, there's nothing super special about that tree in terms of the way that it looks. It just kind of looks like your traditional looking Christmas tree. But I really like those ones. Firs are beautiful trees, especially Douglas. The Douglas fir trees have a lot of amazing benefits, health benefits as well. But yeah, like those two trees are my favorite. Cedars, of course. I mean, who can forget cedars? Cedar trees are are amazing. They smell amazing. They're really, really cool. I mean, all trees are kind of cool, let's be honest, but yeah, I really enjoyed the look of pines and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm already loving this first step. We've only done the bottom branch and the trunk here of this pine, this windswept. Yeah, it's a bit of a windswept type of pine, and I'm already so excited to see how it's going to look like with the rest of it filled in. But yeah, I really like this whole process, because the transformation just happens so fast, and you can just see it right away. And wow, it just brings brings satisfaction, and this is a big reason why I fell in love with drawing using archival ink pens, is because it's so bold in terms of its look, and yeah, and that's what I really like about it. So yeah, anyway, let's get this tree finished, shall we? Look at that, that looks fantastic. Yeah, I love how this tree looks, and it's only gonna look better once the rest of the landscape gets filled in. So let's get that fully filled in now. Alright folks, so there it is, all nicely filled in with the silhouettes. I have to absolutely say that I'm in love with how this is turning out. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna give you a nice pan here, and yeah, it's just, I really like this composition, and to think that it didn't really exist a couple hours earlier is pretty crazy to me, but that's kind of the joys of creativity and of art, is there's endless possibilities, and yeah, I love how it turned out. Alrighty folks, so now we can start on some painting, and the only thing we're going to really be painting is the water, which is actually not a huge portion, just this area here. So yeah, I'm using blue acrylic paint for this. This is I don't even know the complete shade of it. Let's see what it says on here. Light blue, permanent. Well, sure hope it's permanent. But yeah, light blue. It's a light blue, baby blue, turquoise. It's not quite turquoisey, a little bit, I guess, but it is the blue that I've been using for a few years now. Like when I first played around with the blue color, I actually used a much darker blue, and it ain't bad. It ain't bad, but I will tell you one thing, is that when you go darker shades of blue with the with the pen, the black pen, it becomes challenging. The big thing is there's less contrast, because the darker the blue, the closer it is to black, and the more that it will morph and blend into each other. Whereas the baby blue or any light blues, light colors just in general, they're gonna pop so much more. Now I've already was using the kind of the neonish orange and the bright reds for the sun, and so when I was starting out with you know, playing around with the blue water and stuff like that, it was just a matter of kind of trial and error. You know, I ended up trying out this shade of blue and ended up really liking it, and I think the brightness goes well with it. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting, and I do really enjoy it, especially when working on wood or on canvas. Like, it is just amazing, especially with the paint. It's just fantastic. But yeah, this is applying so beautifully. I'm excited. I'm excited for the whole water to form. So as I am finishing the water, this is the hardest part, is in between the trees, trying to get them in there. It's not a big deal getting paint on the black lines, because I can go over with the pen. But I wanted to touch on, I guess, what inspired me to want to create a piece with a guitar, and that is mainly because, well, one, I actually enjoy playing the guitar. I play the guitar completely as a hobbyist. I'm not really that skilled at it, to be honest with you. I only know the basic chords, and I can only play songs like by reading music, like sheet music, I guess you could say. Well, it's not really sheet music, like chords, like, you know. See, like that basically just proves like I am such a noob at playing the guitar, but it is my favorite instrument, and I love playing music or like listening to music a lot with guitars, you know, from classical rock to country to folk. I've been really getting into like more folky, kind of independent indie type of works of music, and yeah, so I really enjoy it. Like if you've been watching my latest videos here, like I tend to use a lot of, you know, acoustic guitar influences in the videos, in the music, background music of my videos, I should say. And so yeah, like I really do enjoy it. I really love the guitar, and I learned in high school. I learned how to play the guitar in high school, and then I basically was never, never confident enough to actually whip out the guitar and actually play it in front of crowds or in front of people or anything like that. I never really do that, and I still really don't really do that. It's just kind of something that I do for myself, for what just something that I enjoy doing for me, and it's always good, even if it's like, if I'm in a good mood or in a bad mood. It's such a nice release, and I really enjoy. I'm really glad that I spent all of high school basically learning it, and it's a lot of fun, and so that's part of it. That's definitely part of the reason why I'm creating this. So just very wanted to mix that love of nature and music all together in one. Okay, so we waited for the paint to dry. I've also done a little bit of touch-ups as well, where I went over some of the black lines with the pen. But right now we are going into the fun part, which is the stippling. We're going to be detailing the rest of the illustrations. I'm going to focus on these sections here. Now you might think, oh, that's part of the rocks that are kind of there, but actually no. So I want these sections here and this one here. You'll see as I start going, I want those just to be the rocks, but here, kind of behind it, at least it will look like it's behind it once it's complete. We're going to be using a rather a thick, on the thicker side. It's only 0.5 millimeters, so half a centimeter thick tip, but it's on the thicker end in terms of micron pens. So it's a number 8 or number 08, and it is for the longest time it was the thickest pen that I used in all my illustrations. So lately, and I'm not sure if it's because Micron came out with new sizes of pens, because lately I've been using size 10 and size 12 for filling in deeper or like thicker areas, such as the trees, for example, or creating the lines and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if, because I've only started seeing them within the last year or so, but yeah, the 08 or the number 8 pen was the one that I actually used for filling in a lot of these silhouettes and doing the lines. The thicker ones, the number 10, number 12, have been godsend for me, and they're just a step above the 08. So, but I do like to use the 08 in some stippling situations like this one here. So we're almost finished in this section. It's not a huge section, so it really doesn't take too long to fill in. All right, so these pieces, or these spots, I guess, sections, are completed. Didn't take very long, because they're quite small, to be honest. And yeah, they look, yeah, I mean, because they are really small, it doesn't really do a whole lot in terms of transformation from what it was before. But yeah, it ain't too bad. I will say that there is, after completing it, I kind of, you know, what I wish I did was actually add a little bit of land in front of the rocks. I think that would make this look even better. Not that it looks bad the way that it is, but I think for future illustrations, it's something that I'm definitely going to keep in mind and think about. And you know, that's just the way that I learn. That's the way that I learn and improve my craft, is by kind of trying things out. So we tried this today. It looks not bad, but I'm already thinking about how it could be improved for the next time. And yeah, so that's just kind of how it happens. How this whole evolution of my style exists is just by, you know, tweaking little things like that, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like, and trying to change it. So anyways, that's that. Let's start off on the bigger pieces. So we're going to start off on the landscape, or actually, scratch that. We're going to do the sun before we do anything else. I should have done that right after the blue paint, but I guess I forgot. Alright, so the next place we're going to be focusing on our landscapes. Now, to determine, I have a lot of different pens. I've been using Micron pens for years. And so to determine if a pen is good, like in terms of how fresh it is, how much ink it applies, how thick the dot work is, I usually do some dotting on my hand, as you can kind of see. I don't know how well that's showing up on there, but I'm just testing out a number of different pens just to see how they apply before I start applying them onto the wood. And yeah, so what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for one that is offering me some light dot work, or light dots, but not too light, because we are working on wood. I do want it to stand out, so something like this. I don't know how well it is even showing up. It's so light I can hardly see it with my hand. That's going to be too light. But the first two that I tried, I really like that one. So I might go with that. No, that's pretty good too. Oh yeah. So I think I found the two that I want. So I'm going to be using Micron 02. I'm going to be using this one, and then the first one that I tried out was the 01. So I'm going to use the 01 for the close-up, the closer hill, and then the 02 for the further hill. Man, I cannot speak. I'm so sorry for anybody who is like a grammar nerd or whatever. I don't know. My grammar is horrendous. I cannot English. so I just made a little bit of a mistake. So I was just going along, dotting in these areas, and I decided to, without even thinking, continuing into these spots, which are outside of the hill. So the hill actually comes this way and underneath, and those are just the branches coming through. So kind of, well, yeah, kind of fucked that part up, but luckily we have a good fix for that. All we need to do is just color this part in. So we're gonna color this in. We're gonna make it part of the tree, part of the silhouette. We're gonna maybe even extend this out so it looks, I don't know, doesn't look too thick over there. I'm not sure if this is helping the case anymore, to be honest with you. It's alright. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get this branch over here. Yeah, I think that will be fine. Yeah, so crisis averted. But yeah, I kind of made a little boo-boo there, but that's okay. It's all fixed now. So now let's get back to the regular schedule programming of stippling. Take a look at that. All the major stippling is finished on the landscapes. All we have left is the sky. I'm just looking for the right pen here. we're gonna start on the sky portion. And once we're done the sky, it's just the water that remains, so there's not a whole lot left. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that is looking. The landscapes, the hills on the opposite side of the lake are looking fine. We've got yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, used two various pens, two different sizes of pens, a number 1 and a number 2, and yeah, you can kind of see the difference. What the thickness of a pen can do is basically like that. The other thing is, well, with the number 2, I definitely was going a lot harder with it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So with the number 2, I definitely used more force so that it could be darker, and there could be a noticeable difference in contrast. But yeah, but we're almost done now, so it's just a matter of finishing the sky, and then we're off to the races with another finished piece. So let's yeah, let's get this all filled in, and yeah. My friends, oh my dear friends, we are so close to the end. You know what time it is. It's time for the waves. It's our last part for this well, for any illustration really. I like to end it off with the water, and main reason is, well, gives the paint more time to cure. Not that it really has to cure much, it's just acrylic paint. So but mainly, that's kind of, I might have mentioned it earlier, like I just don't, like there really is no right or wrong way of doing it. I could do the waves a lot sooner, but it's just one of those things that I've always done at the end and continue to do so. Just kind of works for me. But yeah, here we go. Just starting off with some black lines for the waves here, and I'm just kind of doing some random little ones here and there, especially towards the back. I want to add more depth into it as per usual. And yeah, I'm loving that. Now next is just a few more here. Now next we need our wonderful white gel pen. Let's so we're going to add some white lines into the mix here. Give it that shimmer and sparkle of the water. It also pops so nicely in this blue. And especially on wood because, well, the wood isn't white. Like, for example, you know, paper or canvas, the whole background, or I guess negative space of a piece is all white, right? So if this was on paper or if it was on canvas, all the space around the guitar would be white. And so in this case, it's not. It's wood. I'm gonna say it's a wood color. It's well, it's this light tan, beige. I don't know. Those are kind of the closest colors to this birch. But yeah, I mean that's what we have going all around us. So this white really stands out even more because, well, it's white, and so it's able to contrast a little bit with that. So anyway, we're very close to the end here. Just need to do these finishing touches and then sign the name, and then we'll be finished. Alright, so we're all finished. The guitar on our birch wood panel. Oh, and this evening drawing session turned into a night drawing session because it's just past 12:30 right now at night. So yeah, it went into well into the night, which honestly, yeah, it was kind of to be expected with a piece this large. But yeah, once you start drawing, once you start getting into it, it's hard not to finish it. So here it is. It's all finished. It's probably really hard for y'all to see from this way, but I'm really happy with how it turned out, and depending on how it goes, we'll put it online, we'll post it online, but the plan is to have this be one of the pieces that are going to be featured at my upcoming gallery event at the Art Hub at Spring. I'm going to be up at that gallery for about 3 weeks in March, so this will be one of the pieces I plan to put up there, unless somebody ends up buying it before then. But otherwise, it's part of the plan to have it up there for people to look at and also possibly purchase and stuff like that. So super excited about that. But yeah, we're gearing up. We're gearing up for a really big year this year. First gallery showing of the year coming up, or of ever for me as an artist. So that's super exciting. Creating lots of larger pieces like this one here to fill up those showroom walls. But yeah, I'm loving this one. What a great project. The guitar, a great instrument. I love playing the guitar myself, and so this merging the passions and the hobbies into one is really nice. So definitely a little bit of sentimental value into that. But yeah, I love how the composition turned out. Sure, there's a couple things that I might improve on in future iterations if I decide to tackle something similar. But yeah, that's how you learn, that's how you grow. You try. If you like something, keep doing it. If you don't. There was something I heard recently is that, you know, there's no there's really no failure in terms of in terms of practice, when you're creating artwork, when you're constantly drawing, it's always improvement. It's kind of like getting your reps in. You know, you're constantly improving that muscle and improving that skill set, and that's basically kind of the whole gist of it. So if you're an artist, if you like to draw, if you like to be creative, or literally almost anything you might be passionate about, it's just a matter of getting those reps in and continuously doing something over and over again. You start to get better, a lot more proficient, and you start to see things in different ways and how you can improve it and whatever. Anyways, I'm getting all philosophical on you. It's almost 1 a.m. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. But thanks for watching, and yeah, hope to see you guys stick around for more. Yeah, check out my other videos as well if you'd like, and yeah, consider subscribing, dropping a like, a comment. I'd appreciate it. Anyways, have a good night. Cheers.